receipt of numerous petitions, from a majority of the Ghanaian swimming clubs and organized stakeholders of the Ghanaian swimming fraternity, calling for free and fair elections in accordance with the GSA constitution. The ministry wishes to inform all stakeholders of Ghana swimming that 1, the withdrawal of recognition issued by the National Sports Authority to the Ghana Swimming Association is lawful, remains in effect, and has not been rescinded. 2, the ministry and the NSA shall not recognize the outcome of any congress that the erstwhile GSA holds in violation of the GSA constitution and discussions held with the ministry and the NSA. 3, the GSA and its executive council cannot represent or organize the representation of Ghana at any aquatics competitions, whether local or international. 4, the GSA cannot engage in or supervise the selection of Ghana representatives to any swimming competitions, including, for the avoidance of doubt, the upcoming African Aquatic Swimming Championships. 5, the ministry supports the NSA's demand for accountability from the erstwhile GSA, including the rendering of audited accounts in which the GSA claims to have been submitted to World Aquatics. And 6, the ministry has reiterated the NSA's request for World Aquatics to appoint a stabilization committee to oversee Ghana swimming and the conduct of free, fair, and transparent elections in accordance with the GSA constitution and good governance. The ministry has communicated with World Aquatics for the appointment of a stabilization committee to oversee Ghana's aquatics and engage the Electoral Commission of Ghana to hold elections in accordance with the constitution. In the event that World Aquatics fails or refuses to respond in the coming days, the NSA shall appoint an interim committee to undertake the said actions. All these are to safeguard the future and careers of our talented Ghanaian swimmers and the community. Signed, Bagbara Tanku, Head of PR and Comms for the Minister of Sports and Recreation.
You see, Nathan, the ministry has had to follow up their March 30 release with this one simply because of how the executives, let me put them in quotes, have decided to organize an illegal election.
Hey.
Okay?
Illegal, you say?
Yes. You know, when it comes to matters of the Swimming Association, for close to 9 months, they've been going back and forth on leadership issues.
Okay.
For close to 9 months. The Ministry of Sports and Recreation, the NSA, the petitioners or the stakeholders who are not in agreement of what the current executives want to do or the actual executives want to do, on the other side, trying everything possible to make sure Ghana Swimming Association stands firm and does the right things. Okay? So parties have come together consistently to try and see how they can amicably resolve some of these issues. Now, Nathan, it should be on record that everything that has happened in recent times has happened simply because those running the Ghana Swimming Association do not want to listen or do not want to agree to what would work for all parties. And when I say all parties, I'm talking about all the stakeholders involved.
Okay.
So they have a certain position, a certain entrenched position they don't want to move away from. Now, this entrenched position clearly, or most often, is in violation of what they have agreed to in their own constitution.
This is SportyFM,
and
the voice of sports.
It's become a problem because swimming has to go on. The Swimming Association has to organize competitions. The Swimming Association has to make sure talented swimmers participate in international competitions. Already, one of the biggest fallouts of this impasse or this leadership crisis is that the Africa Aquatics Championship that was supposed to be hosted here in Ghana did not come on. Ghana had to withdraw as host for that competition. Part of the reason being what is going on within the Ghana Swimming Association.
Okay.
So we've already suffered a blow in terms of organizing that competition. Again, athletes will now have to participate in the competition that's now going to be organized in Algeria, or organized by Algeria. Now, these athletes, again, have been selected by these executives that are being challenged. Now, the sports ministry is saying, look, they do not have the right to nominate athletes to go and represent Ghana at that particular championship because they are not recognized as anybody mandated to deal with swimming issues in Ghana. That is where we are at the moment. And you see, if you follow the discussions, if you follow what has gone on, look, the issues are simple. Stakeholders are asking for free and fair elections. Stakeholders are asking for the right people to be put on the delegate lists for the elections to be held. In October, when they wanted to hold their elections,
SportyFM.
they came up with all sorts of delegates representing regional swimming associations which never existed. They came up with all sorts of regional reps, regional swimming associations that never belonged to the association. Now, part of the reasons why the stakeholders were not happy with this was that, look, they believe that there should be a fair playing ground for all those who are interested in contesting or all those who are interested in holding positions within the Ghana Swimming Authority to have a fair chance to be elected or to be voted for. But that doesn't seem to be the case. All of these things, violation of constitution, breaches of constitution, all of these things have resulted in the Swimming Association having all sorts of problems. Now, latest, the release from the Sports Ministry withdrawing recognition for the Swimming Association after the NSA had done that earlier on in the year. So, I think their release came somewhere in January, that they had withdrawn recognition of the Ghana Swimming Association. Discussions went on. The board chair of the NSC, Professor Fredawa, he's been in discussions with them, been in meetings with them. Nathan, not less than 7 meetings have been held. In fact, close to 10 meetings have been held. Just to try and resolve this matter.
And there was no headway?
No headway. Because the executives who are running the affairs of the Swimming Association, who claim the Constitution has mandated them to lead, are refusing to play ball. Now, Nathan, just recently, a notice of poll was released, signed by the General Secretary, Mohammed Muniru Kasim. Now, what did this notice of poll say?
This is
The notice of poll announced
Voice of Sport.
a GSA Virtual Elective Congress on May 2, 2026, which will be tomorrow, at 10 a.m. prompt. Now, the positions of president, first vice president, second vice president, general secretary, treasurer, and executive members, 4, will be contested for. Now, Delphina Ko is the president, and she's being challenged by Daniel Ocheopare. You have Aishatu Farida Idris, who is the contesting for the first vice president, being challenged by Rita Najo Beechem. Dr. Frederick Boama, second vice president, challenged by Sasha Ines Atta. And you have the general secretary, Mohammed Muniru Kasim, who's also been challenged by Evelyn Ameli Nunu Amatefio. And then you have Treasurer Setinti being challenged by Deborah Osei. So almost every position is being contested keenly. Now they have a list of delegates numbering up to 51. The last name on the list is Abeku Jackson, representing the Athletics Commission. So all of these members are expected to be in a virtual meeting to elect their new president or vice president or second vice or treasurer or general secretary. Now, Nathan, where the illegality is that there are concerns about how the general secretary,
SportyFM,
Mr. Muniru, has issued a notice of poll, and this notice of poll is not coming from an independent elections committee of the Ghana Swimming Association. Their constitution clearly states in 1333 and 1334 that an independent elections committee must be constituted by the Executive Council to oversee electoral process with integrity and neutrality. Nathan, how does a general secretary now arrogate on himself powers of an electoral committee to issue a notice of poll? That is where the concerns are coming in.
So whose job is it to issue the notice of?
So the executive committee should appoint an electoral committee. So that electoral committee will now deal with matters of the elections. Okay, that hasn't happened. Now the general secretary, Mr. Muniru, who himself has put himself up for election, is issuing a notice of poll. Nathan, how does that happen? In any association, how does that happen? And modalities for elections must be circulated by the committee at least 30 days prior to the elective congress.
Yeah, that's
Nathan, when was this release for the 2nd May elections? And all of a sudden, members of the association must go into this virtual meeting and elect executives. These are some of the matters that have come up. So clearly, nobody is interested in organizing a free, fair, transparent election that will not be questioned by anybody. And nobody is interested in making sure that, look, the concerns of the stakeholders, the concerns of the petitioners is taken into consideration for the right things to be done for the federation or for the association. Now, prior to this, members had already gone to court to seek an injunction preventing this
SportyFM,
particular
the voice of
elective
sport.
congress from happening. So there's a petition or there's an injunction on this particular election. So even before the sports ministry released this statement, members of some stakeholders had taken this matter to court and had been granted an injunction pending a substantive hearing of the matter, or pending the other party, which is the Ghana Swimming Association, appearing on notice, the defendants in this matter. So, Nathan, a lot of things have happened. But you see, what is worrying, what is very worrying in all of this, is that whilst all of this is happening, the SWR president of the federation or the association, Delphina Kui, has issued a statement or has issued a circular updating stakeholders on governance matters and the path to the elective congress. She issued a 7-point document, in fact, an 8-point document. Oh, okay, there's even 9. So a 9-point document attempting to address matters in the run-up to the elections. So she speaks about the context of the development, where she says for several months, concerns and petitions have been raised against and submitted to various bodies, including World Aquatics and National Sports Authority. And these developments have contributed to delays in the electoral process and have necessitated engagements with multiple stakeholders to seek resolution.
SportyFM.
Through this period, the GSA has remained guided by its constitution and regulations of World Aquatics, whilst continuing to engage in good faith with parties involved with the aim of ensuring fair, transparent, and credible electoral process. Nathan, she does admit that there are issues, but does not admit that the reason why we are struggling to have resolutions is because of the stance of the current executives of the Ghana Swimming Association. She goes on to issue clarification on key electoral issues under discussion, talks about the abortive October 11 elective congress that should have been held, that didn't happen, speaks about the constitutional position and the mandate they have to be steering the affairs of the association, where she states that the elected officers shall serve a term of 4 years or until their successors are elected and qualified. So they claim they are still in office because their successors have not been elected. And that is why they are still in office. And the constitution allows them to do so. Again, she continues to talk about the engagement with the NSA, the ministry, to help resolve this matter. So again, there's an admission that all of the impasse that is ongoing has not been resolved. Per her own press release, it has not been resolved. But she wants to still go ahead and organize an election. Now, Nathan, listen to this part. Financial reporting and audited accounts. And this has been one of the concerns of the stakeholders and petitioners. She says the GSA constitution provides that the audited accounts are to be presented to the General Assembly at Congress, which serves as the appropriate forum for the review and approval by member clubs. The previously scheduled Congress in October 2025 was unable to proceed. As a result, the presentation of audited accounts through this forum was affected. It is important to note that the constitutional process for financial reporting is directly linked to the holding of Congress. Listen to this part.
The voice of sports.
In the interim, the association continues to meet the reporting obligations to World Aquatics as the relevant international body. Financial disclosures are managed in accordance with established governance structures, which recognize member clubs and affiliated bodies as the appropriate stakeholders. GSA remains committed to presenting audited accounts to members at Congress in line with constitutional requirements. Nathan, if you have nothing to hide, and if indeed there are no issues, what is the challenge with giving stakeholders who are raising concerns about audited accounts a copy of that document even before they go to Congress?
Yes.
Why are you hell-bent on adopting
SportyFM.
provisions of the Constitution that suit you, and you are deciding to leave provisions of the Constitution that don't suit you? So in terms of organizing an elections committee, as the Constitution has stated, you don't want to do that. But you are now upholding the Constitution that says that audited accounts must be presented at Congress. So they are telling us that they would only present audited accounts to Congress. But stakeholders are asking for these audited accounts. If the Congress didn't happen in October, and you have audited accounts, present it to them. Present it to the stakeholders. You have recognized them as the stakeholders. Present it to them for them to see. But you only want to present it to them at Congress. So October, you had that document ready for October. Nathan, you couldn't present it. That document never came out in November, never came out in December, never came out in January. We are in May. You have still not released this document, but you are telling them that it is linked to Congress. So it is only at Congress that members of the Ghana Swimming Association can see audited reports. This is the logic of the Swimming Association, as per the Constitution, as they quote it. So Nathan, one thing is clear, that those running the Ghana Swimming Association do not want to play softball with those mediating, and they do not want to listen to the stakeholders and address the concerns they've raised. That is the simple matter here. And I'm in full support of the ministry's decision and the NSA's decision to withdraw recognition. Because whatever is going on, clearly, logically, it doesn't make sense. This is, you see, you can't understand why they are refusing to do simple things just to get the Swimming Association to move on. And Nathan, the question I'm asking this morning is, for Delphina Kwe and her team, why the reluctance to, why are they reluctant to doing the right things? Why are they unwilling to do the right things? Why are they unwilling to do simple things? Why are they doing everything possible to hold on to power? Why are they doing everything possible to hold on to power? Look, Nathan, if you believe you've done a good job for the Ghana Swimming Association, if you believe you can go into an election, contested or not, and win, why don't you open the process? Open it up. Let it be free, transparent, and fair. Let the stakeholders believe or agree that, yes, the delegates you have brought to come and vote are delegates who are part of the swimming association and have the right and are mandated to vote. Nathan, why? What is the matter? What is happening?
SportyFM.
Nathan, me, I know for a fact that the Ghana Swimming Association, just like the GFA, just like the GOC, just like the Ghana Athletics and all, they receive support from their mother body or their parent body. So in this case, World Aquatics. They receive financial support to help run the association. And so, if members are demanding for accountability of those funds, you don't tell us you're accounting to World Aquatics and so they can go to hell. You understand? You don't tell me you are making sure World Aquatics know of how you are expending the funds or whatever it is that comes to you, and so you will not do same when it comes to your stakeholders here in Ghana. The question I asked them today,
SportyFM.
is it that they seem to be enjoying so much support from World Aquatics that they are not ready to relinquish power to anybody, or they are not ready to conduct free and fair elections, and if they continue, they stay on and enjoy whatever support they receive from World Aquatics? Is that the case? So Madame Delphina Kwe, Mrs. Delphina Kwe and her people, the General Secretary, Farida and co. Look, Ghana Swimming Association is not your property. You do not own it. You cannot own it. It is not yours. If you are confident in yourself that you have delivered for the association all these years you've been in office, organize free, fair, transparent elections per the dictates of your own constitution. If you go and win, you continue to run the affairs of the association. Why are they doing this, Nathan? Why?
I wonder.
Why? What is all this? So one swimming association, I am not sure they can even boast of the win for the GFA and the Black Stars would bring when they go to one World Cup. I'm not sure they can boast of even a quarter of that. But look at the stress everybody is going through. You go to sports ministry, there are meetings for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. They're engaging Professor Awa, engaging the NSA, engaging everybody, wasting everybody's time because they want to play hardball. Well, as it stands now, the Ghana Swimming Association does not exist. They do not have any power to hold any event or to nominate athletes to go and perform anywhere in this world. So let us see what they are left with. And I'm hoping that the sports ministry and the NSA will descend hard on them. If they are not ready to do the right things, make sure the Ghana Swimming Association does not exist in this country. And if World Aquatics is not ready to set up a normalization committee to come and run the affairs of the Ghana Swimming Association, so be it. Ghana will not have a swimming association. Or maybe the NSA would have different engagements with other stakeholders and find a way to set up another swimming association that will be recognized by the NSA. If these people are deciding to stand where they are. Nathan, I rest my case on this matter. And if they feel I've said anything on this show that is not true, they should come and tell me that I've said anything that they are in disagreement with. If the Ghana Swimming Association feel that I've said anything on this show that they disagree, they should come and challenge me here on this show. They should come and tell me that I've peddled falsehood.
This is SportyFM.
And we'll give them a copy of everything that we have. What we know from the first injunction, how they cooked up swimming associations all over the country.
Isn't that attack too strong?
Oh, Nathan.
When you say they cooked up.
Oh, Nathan, it is clear from the release of the sports ministry. They stated that they themselves admitted that the regional spread that they were claiming did not exist.
And where did they admit to such a thing?
Nathan, they admitted to the sport when they went into meetings with the sports ministry. And Nathan, you see, when I speak on this show, don't doubt me. I speak with facts. But when I speak on this show, I speak with facts. I speak with facts. And if you want me to quote that for you, I'll quote it for you.
No.
Let me quote it for you for the avoidance of doubt. Now, let me read that part for you, just so you are comfortable. Following this, the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, the NSA, has had not less than 7 meetings with both parties. One of the issues in contention is whether or not there exist regional associations, since it is a constitutional provision determining the eligibility of voters. To this end, the GSA executives presented a list of representatives with intention that the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, the NSA, and the petitioners would accept them as representatives of regional associations. The petitioners objected to it, indicating that the listed representatives are not qualified to vote at the General Assembly, since the constitutional provision gives mandate only to representatives of regional swimming associations and not individual representatives not belonging to any association. The import here is that a region must first have a swimming association, the basis of which they would send a representative to vote on their behalf.
Okay.
Considering that there are no regional associations, the constitutional provision has not been met. And I'm quoting here. There are no regional associations. Those ones they came masquerading with that they had regional associations all over the country.
They were not.
It is important to note that the SOL executives, through their president and other representatives, conceded to the fact that there are no regional association representatives. And I don't, you see, that's why I tell you, when I sit on this show and I'm talking, you see, don't doubt my source. Don't have reason to question. I'm saying that all those regional representatives they cooked up,
Yeah.
they themselves admitted that they did not have regional representation in those regions. So look, if they don't want to do the right things, let their recognition be withdrawn. So we do not have a swimming association. So be it.
Problem solved, same time we the solution. The problem solved.
And I am ready for any of them this morning. Any of those executives, I'm ready for them this morning. Any of them, all of them.
The problem solved.
You see, when this issue first broke, Nathan, we tried to reach out to them. Not a single one of them was ready to talk to us. But the petitioners were ready to come to the media. Not a single one of them was ready to talk. But anytime we go ahead with stories on the Ghana Swimming Association, they have concerns. They seem to have concerns they want to address, but they never show up on air. And I'm ready. I'm waiting for them. One of these days, they should be confident enough to walk into the studio and have a conversation with us.
SportyFM.
And they should tell us that everything they are doing is well within their constitution and is very legal and is accepted. Look, Nathan, they are putting talents in jeopardy.
Yep.
Look, today there are a lot of swimmers. If you go to the University of Ghana today, this morning, and go and see the number of swimmers who are preparing, training, you would weep. You'd ask yourself, are these people really seeking the interest of those athletes they seek to protect? That's the question you would ask. Are they really seeking the interest of the athletes they claim they are there for? Or they are seeking their own agenda? Or they are pushing their own agenda? Or it is their own interest they seem to be pushing? So, we've not had Africa Aquatics Championship held here. Even our athletes that you've nominated to go, there are concerns. Simply because you don't want to do the right things for us to have free, fair, transparent elections. Why? Why? Where does this happen?
Shit. Bandulu.
Hello, Dodge.
So, Nathan, problem of the day.
The Ghana Swimming Association. Well, we'll have to wait and see what their next move is. I think the NSA and the ministry, they have played their cards they have done what the law mandates them to do. So let's see what the Ghana Swimming Association will tell all of us following this letter from the ministry and the powers that be.
Well, Sporty Breakfast, SportyFM 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. And as always, well, on Friday, we don't normally go hard like that, but you see, sometimes, some of these issues have to be dealt with because, you see, the sports ecosystem, and Nathan, already we are complaining, we are concerned about how almost everything that's supposed to work is not working right.
Yep.
The Ghana Boxing Federation is all over the place. Ghana Athletics trying to put the pieces together, You see, so almost every federation is having one challenge or the other. But it's almost looking like when you try to, get them to do the right things, to get organized, proper organization, to build trust, to build credibility, to get people to buy into whatever they do. Nathan, how many sponsors will be willing to sponsor a swimming federation for all of this drama?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are appealing to corporate Ghana. Oh, let's support other federations. Let's support other federations. But if these things are happening within federations, how do you get support from corporate Ghana?
SportyFM.
Okay, so it's a problem. And all of this eventually, we would come and blame the sports ministry for not making funds available for federations to benefit. We will come and be blaming the ministry for not developing sports in this country. But a federation as small as the Ghana Swimming Association, just look at what's happening. People have taken full control of the association and are not willing to allow things to happen. And it's happening across. Even handball. Nathan, there was a story I heard about Greater Accra Handball. That one, I'll bring it next week. Handball, the Greater Accra Handball Association, and the shenanigans happening there in terms of leadership matters. Look, you see, if we want to be seen as a serious sports nation, if we want to be seen as a nation that is progressing or wants to go forward, I think that some of these leadership issues, shouldn't bedevil the development of the sporting associations or the sport. It's worrying. It's very, very, very worrying. Today, Abeku Jackson, how many times hasn't he been on the world stage? How many times has he qualified with a time, with a good time? It's always been wild card.
Wild card, yes.
He's not been able to make the time. And we are proud of that. We are proud of that as a swimming association. We are proud of that. And we'll not focus on the majors. It is holding on to power that we are interested in. Well, Nathan, another federation is looking forward to putting Ghana on the map in Africa, and that's Ghana Athletics. In the next 11 days, yes, 11 days, right? So it's happening, it will start on the 12th.
Yes.
12th to the 17th, we'll be having the CAA Senior Athletics Championships. Now, that competition is expected to take place at the University of Ghana Stadium, and it's expected to feature a host of top athletes on the continent. So all the finest athletes you can think of in Africa will be taking part in this championship. Now, if you follow the discussion around the competition, Bawa Fuseni has spoken about organization, how ready they are. And if you go to the University of Ghana, you realize that plans are far advanced to make sure they put their best foot forward, just to make sure they give us a spectacle. Now, according to reports as well, some of our key performers when it comes to athletics in Ghana will be present. So you have the Azametis, the Saminus, and the likes. They are all in action, or they will be taking part in this year's competition. So all of those discussions are ongoing. And so we'll touch base with those who are in charge of the organization and find out where they are in terms of preparation. But there's a jingle. There's a nice jingle they've rolled out. For the competition. So anytime you hear that jingle play, just know that there's a big competition happening in Ghana. There's a big competition that is slated for May 12th to 17th. And so we'll get into that. But Nathan, quick thoughts on what we've heard so far with regards to the Senior Athletics Championship.
Well, you know, the last time we were speaking about this, the hope was that, sorry, the hope was that the Ghana Athletics would get some money.
Yes.
So I guess we'll have to follow up to see if it has received the money or not. But at least what we know in terms of preps, it's going well. It's coming together. 12th to 17th is a very important period for Accra, hosting the rest of the continent and ensuring that, you know, Ghana will be able to pull off a good event. But we'll have to go back to Bar Fuseni and find out what the situation is with money. Has money been released to cover all the things that must be covered? Yeah. I mean, as I've said, apart from that, I think the preps are going well.
Yeah.
Maybe what we would appreciate would be some updates to find out what specific things have been done, especially on the technical side. We need the tracks and the timers and screens and everything to work, so the experience will be good for everybody, whether you are a media person, an athlete, an official, or just a fan. It has to be a good experience for all of us. So I would like to know if some of the technical things have been sorted out, so that from the 12th to 17th, we can have ourselves the African Athletics Championships.
And I'm told Wanda Mandel is joining us via Zoom. Wanda will be bringing us up to speed on development so far. He's in the thick of things when it comes to preparations and organization surrounding this particular competition. Wanda Mandel, if you can hear me, good morning to you and welcome to Sporty Breakfast.
It's good.
Okay.
Hey, Raymond, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are plans? How are things going in terms of preparations for the Senior Athletics Championship?
I think so far so good. We are on course. Everything is going on smoothly. The Ghana Athletics and then the LOC have been working very hard in this couple of weeks since the announcement of the host in Ghana. I mean, the ministry, in collaboration with the Ghana Athletics Association, has worked so hard from December till now to make sure we deliver a very interesting and world standard championship. So everything is in line. All the technical aspects, including the timing, we've updated some of our timing systems to meet the world standards, and also, we have the best tracks in Africa. So obviously, we know that we're going to meet the times, and then all the big guys in African athletics will be coming. Obviously, this is Ghana, and they would like to be here. So plans are going on well. Pretty soon.
Now, it's 11 days to the start of the competition. What's new? What's the latest? Any latest development in terms of even getting confirmation from athletes who will be participating, confirming that indeed they'll be here for this very, very important competition? I think, okay, yeah, Wanda.
Yeah, I'm here. So yes, there've been a lot of updates.
Yes, I think our connection to Wanda is a bit dodgy.
Hello?
Yes, Wanda, we can hear you.
Okay. There's a tournament right now going on in Botswana. I think the Grand Prix. So we are getting the.
Yes, I apologies to listeners. The conversation is a bit dodgy, but we establish connection with Wanda via the phone lines, so we can get a smooth connection to him, because there's quite a bit he has to share with us before we continue the discussion. But Nathan, it's nice to know that Ghana will be hosting a competition as huge as this, and some of Africa's finest who have dominated on the world stage or have won medals on the world stage will be here to take part in this competition. And if you're listening to us, if you're hearing this for the first time, all the best athletes in Africa will be in Ghana from May 12 to May 17, 2026. Big competition happening at the University of Ghana Stadium. We have one of the finest tracks in Africa at the University of Ghana. So just stay with us because we would be going there. We'll be bringing you live updates. SportyFM are proud partners of this very, very important competition, the 24th CAA Senior Africa Athletics Championships, and it promises to be exciting. So just make a date, just stay with us, because I would keep you updated on daily basis with regards to what would be happening in that competition and what has been done so far. But Nathan, before we proceed, let me just give you a bit of a teaser with regards to what you should expect. So anytime you hear this jingle play on SportyFM or any other platform, just know that something big is coming to Africa.
Ghana, get ready for the ultimate athletic show. The 24th Senior African Athletics Championship. Witness world champions across the continent compete in thrilling track and field events like Kenya's Beatrice Chebet and Faith Kepiengo, Nigeria's Toby Amusa, Botswana's Colin Kebenachipi, Liberia's Joseph Fambele, South Africa's Akani Simbini, Zambia's Muzala Somokunga, and our very own Benjamin Azamati and Saminu Abdul Rashid. Don't miss the excitement from the 12th to the 17th of May 2026 at the University of Ghana Sports Complex, Legon. Senior Africa Athletics Championship. Feel the heat. Champions within Africa. This championship is powered by the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, the Confederation of African Athletics, and the Ghana Athletics.
Every stride, every win, every breath we take. This is the moment.
Ghana, get ready for the ultimate athletic showdown. The 24th Senior African Athletics Championship. Witness world champions across the continent compete in thrilling track and field events like Kenya's Beatrice Chebet and Faith Kepiengo, Nigeria's Toby Amusa, Botswana's Colin Kebenachipi, Liberia's Joseph Fambele, South Africa's Akani Simbini, Zambia's Muzala Somokunga, and our very own Benjamin Azamati and Saminu Abdul Rashid. Don't miss the excitement from the 12th to the 17th of May 2026 at the University of Ghana Sports Complex, Legon. Senior Africa Athletics Championship. Feel the heat. Champions within Africa. This championship is powered by the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, the Confederation of African Athletics, and the Ghana Athletics.
Every stride, every win, every breath we take.
And it will be on right here in Ghana from May 12 to May 17, 2026. It's the Senior Africa Athletics Championships. And, you know, we're having a conversation with Wanda Mandel. Wanda Mandel is one of the key men or part of the organizers of this year's competition. And he's joined us back on the phone lines. Wanda, sorry for the hiccup earlier on. Good to have you back. Wanda, can you hear me? Yes. Wanda Mandel, if you can hear me.
Very well, can you hear me?
Yes, very well. I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Sorry for the hiccup earlier on. So I was asking if, with 11 days to the competition, there's any major updates in terms of who would be competing, who will be coming, who has confirmed participation and all.
So that's what I'm saying. So far, so good. I think there's a competition going on now in Botswana. The Botswana Grand Prix World Release is happening right in Botswana. So most of the athletes are there. The confirmations and the entries are coming in slowly. But what I can assure you is Ethiopia has confirmed the best of their best. They've already submitted their full list. All the top athletes from Ethiopia will be here in Ghana from 12th to 17th of May. I can also tell you the teams from Namibia will be here, Somalia, Djibouti. These are the countries so far that have confirmed and updated their full list. On the other side, I know all the Botswana, the 4x100 and 4x400 Botswana relay team have confirmed participation. The bronze medalist, the Olympic bronze medalist from in the 400 meters from Zambia, Samakunga, has also confirmed participation. And our own guys, Rashid Saminu, J. Paul, Azamiti, all these guys will be in Accra. So, except the best of the best is Accra, and everybody loves to come to Accra. So, the preparations is going on well, and all the top names you've heard in athletics and the ones that you guys just premiered in the official trailer will be right here in Accra from 12 to 17 May.
Now, Wanda, I know yesterday you closed accreditation for this year's competition. So far, looking at the database, is the level of interest shown by media across Africa, is it great? How many entrants or how many applicants have you received so far?
I can confirm to you that we less expected the numbers from media. As of yesterday, we're supposed to close the media accreditation portal at 5:30, close of work, but the calls keep coming across Africa to the accreditation office, so we have to leave it open till 11:59. As I checked last night before this morning, the numbers were 336 applicants across the world. The World Athletics have shared the link to the top broadcasters are coming down to come and cover. The CAA have shared the link. All the major athletics platforms, the big names you know that cover athletics will be here. And of course, our home people will also be here. We are really overwhelmed. We were expecting to accredit 150 media, but as it stands right now, I think we just have to open it up to make sure everybody has a feel of what is coming to happen from 12 to 17th May. So as it stands, we have 236 applicants in our system from the general media.
Now, talking about the competition itself, last time we checked, there were issues of clearance, financial clearance that needed to be sorted out. How far with that? Are we all clear on that as we speak?
Raymond, the one thing I'd like to assure you of is the government of Ghana is very determined to make sure every sport thrives under the umbrella. So we are doing everything possible to make sure this tournament becomes a success. The ministry have been so committed. The minister himself, the Honorable Kofi Adams, have been on the road with the finance minister to make sure everything that is needed to make sure this tournament is a success is done. As I speak to you, tickets for all the international officials and technical officials that needs to be in Ghana has already been booked, and very soon all the big guys we know in world athletics and African athletics will be in Ghana. So every area is being solved at each step. So I can tell you for a fact that clearance is done, and we are going through the process to make sure we sort everything out as time goes on. So there's no fear at all. It's going to be a very, very successful event, and John Dramani Mohammed's government, His Excellency, is very, very, very keen to make sure that every sport thrives under the umbrella.
Thank you very much, Wanda, for joining us on the show this morning. Hopefully, we'll have more discussions.
Thank you, everyone.
Right.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all the good work you are doing. Let's make sure it becomes one of the best that has been hosted on the continent. The publicity that you guys are giving us is well appreciated, and we say a very big thank you to SportyFM for always being with us, and we'll always come back to you.
Our doors are always open, and we hope to do more with you as we plan to have a very successful competition. Thank you very much for your time. Have a super day, Wanda.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Right, so Wanda Mandel is part of the team, or he's one of the coordinators for this year's event, and also doubles as the personal assistant or the special aide to the sports minister, Honorable Kofi Adams. So, just as he said, Kenya's Beatrice Chibet, the 2025 African Athlete of the Year, and Faith Kipyegon, multiple 1,500 meter world record holder, she will be in Ghana to take part in the senior men's athletics championship. The senior athletics championship. So, Africa Senior Athletics Championships. And then Akani Simbene, one of Africa's most consistent sub-10 runners in the 100 meters. He will be here as well. Lechile Tibogo, he's a key figure in Botswana. Botswana's success in 2025 heavily hinges on him, and he will also be part of this competition. Ferdinand Obwanyala, one of Africa's finest. He has a personal best of 9.77 when it comes to 100 meters. He will also be here. And then, I mean, all the top athletes you can think of, they will be here. And for Ghana, we have the likes of Abdul Rashid Saminu, who ran 9.86 a few months ago. He would also be in attendance. So expect some of the finest athletes here in Ghana. So we'll keep an eye on all of that. Marita Lu would also be here. So a lot to look forward to as far as this competition is concerned. From May 12 to May 17, 2026, we have you sorted out at the University of Ghana. That's where that very, very important CAA Senior Athletics Championship will be taking place. Well, away from other sports, let's go straight to football. And it's match day 31 of the 2025-2026 Ghana Premier League season. Very interesting games coming up this weekend in the Ghana Premier League. The games begin today, May 1, 2026. 11 Wonders will play Bechem United at the Swedro Sports Stadium. On Saturday, you have Vision FC taking on Swedro All Blacks at the Ni Ajekraku, the second sports complex. Now on Sunday, you have the big one, the title decider, the potential title decider between Midiama SC and BBN Gold Stars at the TNA Park in Takwa. And then you have Hoho United playing Brekum Chelsea. That venue will be confirmed. That match has still been scheduled because Hoho United, as we speak, Nathan, officially they have not written to the Ghana Football Association to confirm their withdrawal from the Ghana Premier League. And that's why a match official has been appointed, assistants have been appointed, a venue media officer has been appointed, a match commissioner has been appointed, a fourth referee has been appointed. So that should tell you the FA are still yet to receive that official communication. Now you have Nations FC coming up against Hearts of Oak. That game will be played at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Now you have Samatex 1996 coming up against Basake Holy Stars at the Incenture Sports Arena. And then Karela United will play Young Apostles at the Aliu Mama Sports Stadium in Tamale. And then still on Sunday, you have Aduana FC coming up against Hearts of Lions at the Nana Ajiman Bedu, the First Park. And then you have Dreams FC playing Kumasi Asante Kotoko at the Tuba AstroTurf. So these are the games to look forward to in the Ghana Premier League this weekend. The games start today. But talking about the Ghana Premier League, if you look at the league standings, it would clearly tell you what to expect in terms of the games to look forward to. Now, Midiama are top of the table on 53 points. BBN Gold Stars are second on 51 points. Both teams have played 29 games. Now, the game that will be played in Takwa this weekend is a potential top of the table decider. Midiama play BBN Gold Stars. If BBN Gold Stars beat Midiama at home, they go top of the table. If Midiama win this game, they open a 5-point lead at the summit of the Ghana Premier League table with 4 games to go. So that's what it's looking like going into this particular round of games. And then you have Hearts of Oak, Aduana SC, Samatex, Kumasi Asante Kotoko, all vying for top 4 slots. So that's how things will go. Now, this weekend, you have Dreams FC taking on Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Dreams FC, if they win this game against Kotoko, they go level on points with Kumasi Asante Kotoko in the Ghana Premier League standing. So there's a lot to look forward to this weekend. Coach Ebenezer Sifa, as always, is here with us to get into the preview with us on the show. Coach, good morning to you and welcome to Sporty Breakfast.
Good morning, Raymond.
Happy Workers' Day.
Thank you.
You've been working hard. Are you cool to you?
Are you cool to you?
When are you going to Takwa, by the way?
God willing, I should be in Takwa tomorrow.
Okay. For the big one. Well, it's been a very sad week. Match day 30 didn't come on because the FA decided to set it aside to pay respect or show respect to fallen hero Dominic Frimpong. Earlier this week, he was laid to rest, and Brekum Chelsea they would go back to playing their games. For Aduana, who also owned the player, they would also would have to return to playing football. What do you make of everything that's happened in the last week? The FA's postponement of the match day 30 games, the funeral, the burial, the support from the Aduana family, the support from Nana Ajiman Bedu and all. What do you make of all the developments around, the death of Frimpong and even the Ghana police and their proposal to provide security for traveling teams?
Well, I think that it was a sad week. I mean, for a young man like Dominic Frimpong, leaving his home to Doma, to Aduana, loan to Brekum Chelsea, just to go and play a football game at the end of the day, end his life. It was sad when he was laid to rest, and as you rightly said, Aduana represented, led by Atapuku, the CEO, and of course, Brekum Chelsea also was there. Samuel Bodu was there, the coach. And I think the FA too was there. Fredachi led the delegation to also represent the FA. And football loving fans were also there. It was a sad moment for the family of Dominic Frimpong. But I think that everything went on well. As you said, Nana Ajiman Bedu ordered that the remaining contract fee of the disease should be paid, all should be paid. And I think that he also added something. So they donated about 100,000 Ghana cedis to the family of Dominic Frimpong. The FA donated 10,000 cedis, and let me say, loved ones also went to donate. So for me, I think that it is good. But irrespective of all this money will not bring the Dominic back to life. But the point is that we need to learn from all these things. And as you rightly said, the police, we are calling on the CID boss, Madam Lydia Donko. I mean, as they told us that they are going to protect the teams that will be traveling, I think 2 policemen have been asked probably to join any team that travels to go and play a game. But I think that we don't need to wait for such incidents to happen before. But on the other hand, I think that we should have a lot of patrol teams in such areas. I mean, from Summer Boy to Obuase or to Bebieni and all that. The routes are very, very, very bad. And if you have more of patrol teams out there, I think it will scare these crazy armed robbers to be coming to block roads and all that. Because I believe from Mankesim to Winneba, if you had used that route before, I mean, you have about more than 10 barriers, whereby sometimes you ask yourself, but I think it is good for us. But for such areas, you don't find them. And I think that going forward, we should be able to have such barriers and patrol teams more often, and that will be able to help travelers. I won't say the only footballers that go through that route, but footballers that our mothers, our sisters, our fathers who go for trading should also be protected. And I think that we need to talk about this more for us to remind the security officers to be able to do that I won't say favor, to do that job for us, because this is their mandate to protect us.
That's correct.
So I think that, and also the government also has to do well by making sure that road, especially from Summerboy to Bebieni, that road should be good for us. A road that you can use less than 40 minutes, you can end up using about 2 hours because of the nature of the road. It's very, very bad. And I think that we need to work on that. For last week, it was a bad week. I think it's also a good decision for the FA to postpone the week 30 of the Ghana Premier League. I mean, they need to respect the dead. And I think that he was part of us. And since it's no more, we need to remind everybody to respect that. And I think that it has been good. So week 30 will be played come next Wednesday. So this weekend is week 31. So I think that the FA did very well by postponing those games.
Right. Yeah. Now, Coach, let's start from the games today. We go to Swedro, and then 11 Wonders who have been relegated from the Ghana Premier League. In fact, it's just a matter of the FA confirming that they've been relegated. But with 10 points after 28 games and with some 6 games to the end of the season for them, there's no way they can come back. Now, they play against Bechem United, who themselves are in desperate search of points. They are on 37 points and they are 13th. Even 40 points would not guarantee survival in the Ghana Premier League this season. Easy work for Bechem United against 11 Wonders?
No, I would say an easy work for Bechem United. You remember I told you last week that the motivation that is letting 11 Wonders players plead, and when you watch them play, you love them, is that at the end of the season, Hasselfolk, Mediema, Bebieni Gold Stars, any of these clubs can come for them. So if they want to play, they need to play out very well to be able to convince those clubs that, look, they are good enough to play for them. In as much that, as you said, they've been relegated, you're just waiting for an official statement from the FA that will come from the Congress. So I believe that the players are only motivated that, look, I'm doing very well for Bechem to come and get me. I'm doing well for Mediema or Ediana to come and get me. So they will not just go there for Bechem to run over them. It's never going to be easy. And if I've listened to Coach Emisha, the coach of Bechem United, he said he has watched them and they play very good football. In as much that they've been relegated, when they lose the game, there is no news. But if Bechem should lose the game, it's a big news. And looking at the position of Bechem United, they need all the 3 points. It's never going to be easy. You remember on Saturday, I was at the Accra Sports Stadium to watch Galaxies against Lions and then Adriana. And after the first game, I spoke to Augustine Okra, and he was telling me that, coach, you break here, you go straight to Swedru because he have points on. That should tell you how serious they've taken the game. And I'm sure they have the men probably to get all the 3 points, but it's not going to be on a silver platter. So it's going to be a difficult one. And for me, I think that Biche United will have a slim win or a draw in this game.
Let's talk about another relegation battle. Vision FC are currently 12th on the league log. They are on 38 points. They come up against Red Royal Blacks, who are 15th on 35 points, just 3 points between them. And Vision FC would be looking for 3 maximum points to ensure that safety is guaranteed in the Premier League.
I think it's very important for Vision FC because in their last couple of games, they've just lost 2 games at home. And that's near J.K. Park. They are very strong at that venue. Sweden Blacks are struggling in their away games. For me, their best game was against Accra Hasselhoff that I felt that they could have won that day when they took the goal to yet. So, and Menga would love to play good football, love to build from the back and all that. But Nanajima also love to build from the back. But there's one thing I love about Vision FC is that when they identify the loopholes of an opponent, that is where they have the overload to make sure that they take advantage of it, especially when they have their dynamic captain. I mean, talking of Meshach Ajete in Melford, Alidu Mohammed, who also play as a pivot, very strong combat player in Melford. And normally they use their right side of attack. That is where Emmanuel Sanya played, the right wing back, who is in the U20 at the moment. I think that they have a very good team to be able to beat Swedru or Blast, but it's never going to be easy. As I said, casting my mind back to what Swedru or Blast played Accra Hasselhoff, where they dominated Hasselhoff in Melford, especially when they had that young player Dakwa in Melford, and he's also in the under 20 camp with Maswell Kunedu. It's going to be an interesting game. I mean, Rudolph Mensah has stopped scoring, but I don't know whether he's going to get back on the score sheet in this particular game. But I think that Vision has a chance of picking up the 3 points based on their records at home, apart from the Mediama game and the other game that they lost. They've never lost a game at home. They always make sure that they come up on top, especially in the second half of their games. I believe that they have the chance again to beat Sweden Blacks.
Let's go to Abrankese. Nations FC welcome Hearts of Folk. Hearts of Folk lost their last game away. They were beaten by Vision FC. They'll be desperate to return to winning ways. But Nations FC, they need the points. They are currently 11th on 38 points. And like I said, you would need at least 45 points to stay alive in the Ghana Premier League this season.
Yeah, looking at Nations FC, they are yet to lose a game at home.
Yeah.
And Frimpong also has done very well. To be honest with you, he took over from Mingle. He decided to vary their game plan and probably their system that they used to play. And fortunately for him, the young players that he introduced, the Inzolis, the Joseph Ifas, the Max, and the rest, they've been able to fit into his system very well. But I also believe that House of Folk being the best away team in the Ghana Premier League, it will also be a strong side to beat. But the history between both sides, House of Folk struggled to beat Nations FC since they entered the Ghana Premier League. It's not going to be easy. You are looking at a defense line which is very solid. Emmanuel Amankwa, you have the likes of Baba Damu, the likes of Esibe and Ali Mohammed. But you are also talking about the front three. I'm not going to talk about the Bayern front three. I'm talking about Nations front three. I know. Entry, yes, and then of course Joseph Ifa. These are guys on any day that Brankese can disturb anything. So probably they are going to put pressure on House of Folk defenders not to be able to join their midfielders, for the midfielders to join the attack. Yeah. I'm talking about Opon Frane, Rafael Ponsa, and then Abdul Karim. Abdul Karim is coming from Nations, and there's one thing I've realized about that young man. He's from this team from team A to team B, and he happens to meet. He plays it as if he wants to pay the team back. So, it happens between Bechem and Nations when he left Bechem to Nations.
Okay.
But in the first leg between House of Folk and the Nations, it happened. And I foresee that probably that's the reason why I want to see he and Ivan Safo, the central midfielder of Nations FC. I want to see how they battle out. And for me, for Frimpong Mason, I mean, they are in the African finals. A position where they want to win and go to Africa. Dr. Kwame Che is keen in representing Ghana in the Confederation Cup. So probably they'll use this game to boost the confidence of the players and all that, because they are eager to lose a game. They are playing a team like House of Folk, who on any day can surprise you with their style of play, their mentality, and the way they attack the problem is that the attackers find it difficult in putting the ball at the back of the net. I mean, the likes of Hamza Issa, Frank Dukurabra, and of course, Mauli Wayu. So for me, I think that it's going to be a Milford battle between Inzoli, Evans, Safu. It's going to be a tough one, but I believe that Hasselhoff needs to be very careful. Though they have the Benjamin Asare, Solomon Bashi, any of them can be imposed to, but they also have a wonderful goalkeeping. I'm talking about Nations FC. It's going to be a tight one, but I think that a slim win for Nation or a draw in this game, it will be difficult for Hasselhoff to beat Nations at the Brankers.
Difficult for Nations, difficult for us to beat Nations.
Yes, they are going to give them a match. No doubt about it. You see, and you see the pitch at Abrankese is not like a class sports stadium or Baba Sports Stadium.
Yeah.
So if you are able to map up a proper strategy, you should be able to close the spaces that probably your opponents will be creating. And Hasselhoff have done very well in such aspects. I mean, look at Emmanuel Amankwa if he starts, or Amankwa if he starts. But the problem of Hasselhoff is anytime they try to support the attack, they leave spaces for the opponents to pick the second balls. And if they do that against Nations, then probably I'll tell them to go and watch the game between Nations and then Mediama. They'll be able to do well. Other than that, it's going to be difficult. From so anything that comes to Abrankese, the first 50 minutes, he try as much as possible to put pressure on you to make sure that he finds that spaces. Hasselhoff have a good mentality anytime they play away from home. It's going to be difficult, but I still expect Nations to sail through a slim margin or a draw.
Well, Didi Dramani has been speaking. He says Hearts of Folk will be ready to respond against.
They're always ready
after their last defeat in the Ghana Premier League division. So we'll see how things pan out there. But another game we should look at. It should be a game the neutrals would enjoy. Samatex, they play Basake Holy Stars, two very decent teams in the Ghana Premier League this season.
Samatex and Christopher Eni, they've lost just a game at home, and that was against Bichim. And Bichim surprised them. I told you about the unknown players that they took to Samatex, and for me, they went to play well. I mean, those players that were not getting playing time had the opportunity, apart from Tompo and then Imala Nano. Obviously, okay, he didn't even represent, but they were able to beat them. But for Basake have also become a team that you cannot beat at home after Johnson Smith took over. But the away performance, I think their best one was against House of Folk at the Legon Sports Stadium. But from Samatex to Basake, where they play their games, it's not far. So they know themselves very well. But for Christopher Eni to be sure that, look, let me maintain that my home visibility, though I've lost the game, he needs to be strong. Because on Wednesday, he's going all the way to go Bebiani to play Bebiani Gold Stars. But he needs these points badly. Though I think that the position of the team is very good on the league log. But in this case, if you are to lose 2 games, meaning you are losing 6 points, you definitely drop. And if you're not lucky, you come closer to the red line. So it's going to be a game that I think that is very difficult. I mean, the likes of Isa Yakubu, Stevenson Simba, and then Prince Cheneboa, the young chap on the block. All the clubs are looking for him. I mean, the big ones are looking for him. And on a very good day, if you allow him, he will punish you. You see, he drives on his pace. He's very skillful. At the moment he surges forward and they put the ball into spaces, he disturbs you. He's the reason why SCB had the record at the Legon Sports Stadium. But for Samatex FC, I mean, Kofi Agbesima and his colleagues needs to be very watchful. They have a solid midfield and the attack is also not bad. But I think that at that venue, I expect Samatex to carry the day.
Hamza Obeng will be in charge of Kumasi Asante Kotoko after Prince Owusu ran away from the club. And
did he run or he resigned? No, it's a question. Did he run or he resigned?
From the job.
He ran away.
He ran away from the job.
He didn't resign.
So Kotoko, they have suffered back-to-back defeats in their last 2 games in the Ghana Premier League. And they'll be desperate to return to winning ways. But they come up against a very tricky dream side at the Tuba Astrotef. How does this one go, coach?
A tough one for Hamza. And when I listen to him, it's like he's trying as much as possible to let the players feel free, play their normal game. He believes that they shouldn't put pressure on the players because at the end of the day, they've already lost the league trophy. They are not going to relegation. They are not in the FA Cup. They are preparing towards next season. And so he wants to have the minds of the players to be ready for next season. And also they should go in there and then play freely. So he played a friendly match and you could clearly see that though they scored 4 goals and you saw how they played, the Kwame Pokus, the Saka Daudes, players that they were injured under Prince Owusu. and I think that yes, it's going to be a good game. But for Dreams FC, you know, Kotoko for losing that 4-0 to Mediama are still thinking about how, why should we go all the way to Takwa to lose 4? But they believe that they can come to Dreams at Tuba to do. Apart from Karila, who has gone there to pick all the 3 points, any team that has gone there has suffered. Because you look at the Dreams FC side, the boys on the field of play looks at John Entry. And the coach also relies on John Entry to use his experience to guide the young ones. That's why you see Suraj Sedu doing so well in Milford. The likes of Latif doing very well, Mohammed Shaban, they are doing so well. And they build very well from the back through to the middle. They go the wide areas, and they are very delightful to watch when you watch Dreams FC play. But you are playing a team who is down. And they are trying to catch up. They are trying to convince their supporters that they should have belief in them. Then you need to be very careful. It has happened before. Kotoko lost to Hasselhoff. They went all the way to the Young Apostles, and everybody thought they were going to struggle. But before they won the win. And for Hamza, he'll be happy even if he should pick a point in this game. He'll build upon it to their next game at the Baba Yaya Sports Stadium. So I believe that it's going to be a cagey encounter, but I think that Dreams FC have an advantage to beat Kotoko.
Right. Now let's talk about one other game before we get into the big one. Kerala United, they have been good this season. They welcome Young Apostles to the Aliu Mama Sports Stadium in Tamale. Another weekend where we see Kerala finally returning to winning ways after failing to win in their last 2.
Well, if it had been Weji, I would have said straight away I'll give it to Young Apostles. But look at their away performance has been very poor. And I think that their best game was against Hasselhoff again. And it seems that the teams played very well against Hasselhoff. Though they lost at the Accra Sports Stadium, the last 20 minutes they pinned Hasselhoff to the wall, and Hasselhoff were praying for the game to end. And for them to go to the Aliu Muhammad Sports Stadium, apart from Samates that has gone there to win, the teams go there and they really suffer. Looking at the position of Young Apostles, they would love to have even a point in this game. But Coach Nur Ahmed has also said that, look, the last 2 seasons, they've really struggled, especially in the last games of the season, to be able to stay in the Ghana Premier League. For them to be able to have confidence in the team, and for the bank roller, Aaron Haruna Idrisu, to be able to get more quality players for them to be able to do well next season, they need to win this game. I mean, if we, at the end of the season, if you just lost only a game at home, it's a plus. And I think that they were at Enyinasi before they moved to the Aliu Muhammad Sports Stadium. It's going to be a difficult one, but I don't see how and why, or I don't see how Young Apostle will be able to go there to pick all the 3 points. Yeah, there are surprises in football. Like as Samatas went to surprise them. It can happen, but it will be difficult for me to understand how Young Apostles will be able to pick even a point in this game.
Let's talk about the big one. Now, 2 teams that are chasing the Ghana Premier League title this season. Defending champion.
Can I talk about Adriana Heart of Lions before I come to this game?
Well, let's do Adriana Heart of Lions.
They are morning, so let's talk about the action.
So let's do Heart of Lions.
But I think that Chioba Aristika wants to at least have a fine form in their last 4 games before he say bye-bye to the team. And for Heart of Lions, I asked myself, I don't know whether you were there last Thursday on Saturday. The game Lions gave the Galaxies and Adriana themselves. You ask yourself, is that how these teams played in the league and they are struggling and the way they and for me, Adriana is not doing well at home. If you look at the records for their home, I don't know whether it's pressure from the supporters or from.
I think that is what has disturbed Adriana this season.
The Oja is
the home form.
It's not good.
Look, Adriana are 8 points off Mediama. Okay, now imagine if Adriana's home form were good. They'll probably be on top of the table.
Yes.
Most likely, because it's just an 8 points difference.
I believe they have a strong team. I mean, looking at their squad, if I can tell you, they have Prince Osei. And for me, for him to bench Gregory Robin, formerly of Brekum Chelsea, the U20, it tells you something. They have Rema Adumako, one of the very good. I mean, Abubakar on the left. I mean, irrespective of Anochi Bedu coming back rusty, they have Kufuor and of course Alex Boach. You come to the Milford, they have Bafama, they have Seydou Sana, they have Raymond Ajiman, and he had a very good game against the Galaxies at the Accra Sports Stadium. That is Raymond Ajiman. If I should recommend a pivot for a club today, I'll mention him. Yes, he is very good. And sometimes they play him as a centre back. And
the teams are looking
that
for,
is how has to focus on upon Franny.
for pivots in the coming season.
Yes,
That's your guy.
He is very good. I'm telling you.
Raymond Ajiman.
He and then Ivan Safu of Nations FC. And they have the likes of Henderson and Ponsan. They have a very good team. But you ask yourself,
Daniel Awuni is
Yes.
even plays from
He
the
comes from the bench.
Emmanuel Mafo, very good striker, and then first that young boy, that youngster, what's his name? The winger.
Yes,
the winger.
That or something.
Is it Foster? Oh.
No, they have one. But they have certain them.
Yeah,
they have a very good team.
Very good team.
Even Sam Adams, the good old Sam Adams, who come from the bench,
and he
made a lot of in their game against Gold Stars. Yeah. He came from the bench. They have Benjamin Chivano. He's there with the. I mean, they have a solid team. Yes, but you ask yourself, what is really happening to Adriana? They can go with a one goal project at Doma. It will be difficult for you to go there. But this is they've really suffered, and they are struggling. But they are playing a team that have also disappointed so much. Because I gave it to Heart of Lions from the beginning of the season. Look, they should win the Ghana Premier League.
Yeah.
But they
ended last season very well. So the thinking was that they move on
because of the consistency.
Yeah, but this season they've really struggled.
But they started well.
And you know one funny thing. The game against Galaxies, they had their team divided into two. One had to play Hasselhoff early in the morning at Pubiman.
Another friend.
Yes, and then the other team came to play the Galaxies. But you ask yourself, if you have this set up, why do you struggle in the Ghana Premier League?
I don't know.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe pressure. I don't know.
Pressure from where?
Coaching.
They are being paid well.
And they still had.
They have a very good team bus. They have a very good pitch. A stadium is very good. What is wrong with the Heart of Lions players?
And they still had players on the side of the Black Galaxies.
Oh, of course. That is their captain. I mean, he also played well alongside. No, Razak Simpson.
Okay.
I'm talking about the pair.
Okay.
Yeah, for Echedogli, my brother, he's one player in Ghana has to have a very look at. He's a delight to watch. I mean, if they tell you he's from a second division, just entering the Ghana Premier League, you'll be amazed. And everybody was talking about him, the movement. He made me recall.
And Carlos watched him.
I don't have the eyes of Carlos. So for Heart of Lions, they're looking at the position of Heart of Lions. I think they can go out there and pull out a point from that game. Yeah.
Now let's talk about the big one, and that's the one that will.
That's the reason why I can't
dominating the talking point this weekend. It's Adriana. Yeah, sorry.
So Midiama
coming up against BBN Gold Stars. Now BBN Gold Stars, we all know, have been one of those teams that have been up there in terms of one of the top away performers. You look at the away performance this season. They've played 14 games out of 15 matches they've played. They've won 4. They've drawn 1. They've lost 10, picking up 13 points in the process. Okay, now that's the form they go into this game with as one of the top 5 teams in terms of away performances. Now they come up against a team that, in terms of racking up points at home, they're also up there in the top 3. Midiama played 15 games, won 10, drawn 4 times, and lost just 1 at home this season. That's the top of the table up for grabs in this particular one, depending on who wins. If Midiama win, they stay top. They open a 5-point lead at the top. If BBN Gold Stars win, they usurp Midiama at the top. Now, looking at both teams, coach, and their form going into this game, who wins this one for you, and who goes into this game better prepared, right momentum, better shape, and has the ability to look at this as a potential title decider and give us that game that we want?
So both teams are really prepared. I mean, they also had their players at the Galaxies camp. Midiama had 5, and of course, Gold Stars have 2. I mean, Atakumi and then Kobe. But I also believe that it's going to be a tight contest. Very, very tight contest. Gold Stars has never been lucky since they joined the Ghana Premier League by playing Midiama at the Takwa TNA. Their last visit was the FA Cup. They lost by 3-1. That was where Kingsley Baye had a hat-trick. But in respect of that, I think that they've done very well in the league, looking at their players' mentality and looking at the team. itself. When you look at Mediama, they boast of a very good midfield. Players that can play, players that can strike, players that can change the dynamic and the face of the game. They can improvise at any given time. Mm-hmm. That is what Gold Stars is lacking in their midfield. But in terms of the strength of the team, Mediama is having Suleimana, the left back, Fatau. And of course, Gold Stars is having Bisa. Yeah. I mean, most of their goals has been from his end, where he has assisted very well. Fatau has done so well from the other side. Gold Stars is having a young player in the midfield called Foster AJ. Yeah, he's one player they have to look at. They have Nkwa. Yeah, Michael. He also plays sometimes from the right or on the left. So it's going to be a tight game. But if for Mediama to look at the performance that they put up against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, thinking that Gold Stars will be a team that they will run over, then I think that they'll have themselves to be blamed. I mean, they should have a different mindset about this game, because I believe Gold Stars is coming very strong, and they believe that if they should even pick a point. The rest of the games, Gold Stars is playing 3 at home and then 2 away. Mediama is playing 2 home, 3 away. So the crucial game for Mediama, they believe, is against Bekum Chelsea on Wednesday at Bekum. Gold Stars will be playing Dreams FC. They'll be playing Samatex at home. So Mediama feels that, look, if I should go all out and pick out the 3 points, I'm going to have 5 points clear. And that is where probably he will manage to end the season with, even if it's going to be a point. But when it comes to goals, Mediama is having goals. The first leg ended goalless draw at the dance bar. So if Mediama should win, so that should tell you that head-to-head, they are good to go. But they both two have very good, intelligent, and very good, exciting goalkeepers. Emmanuel Kobe has been there, very consistent ever since he joined them from Bofakwatano. Felicity has also been consistent ever since he joined Mediama from Karela. So we should tell you that you now have to look at the 2 bench. Who are they? How are they going to change the face of the game? How are they going to start the game? And both have video analysts. For Mediama, they have Kweku, if you know him. He was the video analyst for the Black Stars in 2014, and Right to Dream. He went to Man City and all that. He's very good. Now they've appointed our own brother, our friend, really Graham, as their communication. So for Mediama, I think that they are doing so. Akwasi is also doing. He was in Germany, and I learned he's in town now. So they are all moving to Takwa. It's never going to be easy. Amazimba will be there to perform live at the stadium. So for me, the crowd will be there. So it's about the mentality and the attitude of the players that is going to win the game for any of the teams. But I think that Mediama stands the chance of picking all the 3 points. Looking at the games that Gold Stars has gone there to play, how they fared, and how Mediama has also played at home. Even the game that they lost to Bohol United, if you had watched the kind of opportunities that came their way. Fuzi Taylor was in Turkey, he's in town, he's back. Oh, he's back? He's back into the team. Kevin Nkrumah was in Hull City, but he also came to play the Galaxy's game. So for Tanko, I don't think there's any injuries. Yes, of course. And of course, Gold Stars have the same. It's going to be an interesting game, but I foresee Mediama going through.
I think Mediama's start will be very important. How they start the game will be very crucial. I know they are not playing Asante Kotoko. Kotoko was they put up a very poor performance on the day. But starting that game in a good way is very important for Mediama, because if this game drags and it's still goalless, there will be pressure on them. And once you are in that pressure situation, you can make very bad decisions. You can risk to go and get a goal. We saw what happened when they took on Hohoe United. Yeah. We saw how tough it was to get the draw against Bechem. Yeah. They had to score a late equalizer. Yes, against Samatex.
Against Dreams FC, they have to wait to the 90th minute own goal. Yeah. To be able to. And you see, one thing about Ghanaian clubs is that when they have a very good pitch, they play good football. So if you are playing at home and you have a very good pitch and the away team comes and you allow the away team to have confidence to play, then you'll be in trouble. Like as Nathan said, Kotoko's game, Kotoko started very well. In the first 5 minutes, Kotoko was in the game. It was the first goal that changed everything. It was the first goal that changed everything. And that brought Mediama's confidence, and they began to play. I don't know how Tanko is going to play his game. Salam Adam very strong on the ball, came from the bench. And I think that on that day, he started because of Christy Braye's suspension. Kevin Obin is one player who is very strong in the air. But how is Kevin, Mediema, I know, Gold Stars, Center Backs, and the rest, how are they going to handle him? How is Mediema going to build? Is Salim Adams going to operate deep in midfield or the other side? Against Kotoko, Manuel Mante operated from the left side of midfield. Creating space for Fatau.
I noticed that he kept playing. He started from the left. And was coming inside.
Because the plan was anytime they lose possessions, he joined the midfield quick. Then that space will be left for Fatau. So anytime Fatau moves, Mubarak also drops in. And Kotoko, because they were playing Samba O'Neill at that position, Kotoko were struggling because Samba O'Neill very good at the center back than the role that was given to him. And Kotoko were playing this young chap, Lawson in midfield. He was doing very well though, but the maturity of Salim, Fuzi Taylor, were tough. But for Gold Stars, it won't be easy. It won't be easy. It will be easy. So, as you said, if Mediama should start well, it will go well for them. But if they don't start well, then they have to fight back. Because if they allow Gold Stars to get the confidence from the blast of the whistle, and all these things have to come from your warm-up. The mentality from the dressing room to the pitch to warm up, and back to the dressing room, and onto the pitch again to be able to win the game. So for me, for instance, if I go for scouting, I normally watch warm-ups. There are some players who have got thick veins. They struggle to warm early. And if I'm writing a report for my coach, I know how to put down the report. There are goalkeepers who also struggle to warm early. That is why sometimes they come early onto the pitch to do warm. And others enters the dressing room quicker than other because of the nature of how they warm themselves. So these are things that if you have a scout, he has to go through all that. The video analysts will do their job, but as a scout needs to do all these things and give it to you. So on the blast of the whistle, you know where you should tackle the opponent, and you know where to also avoid them being tackled. So it's going to be a thinking variation. It's going to be a difficult game for both sides, but I still think that Mediama is slightly ahead to be able to pick up the 2 points.
But Kelvin, let me bring you in. How have Mediama brought themselves to this point? At a point in time in the season, they almost looked like they were running away with the title. They allowed BBN Gold Stars to come back into it, and it's just 2 points between them. And now they have to go into this high-pressure game against BBN Gold Stars. Last time we saw them play in Takwa and lose, it was against Hoho United. Can Mediama go into this game very confident that, look, we have the home support, we have the home fans behind us, we can go and win this one? Or BBN Gold Stars will look at that Hoho United match and say, well, if Hoho were able to do it at Takwa, we can also do it too.
Well, I think that, for Mediama, how they started the season, yes, I always say they peaked too early, way too early, during preseason. And I think those are critical elements that you need to work it through your season. It's something that
pace yourself.
Exactly, but I think that the pace was, maybe they overpaced and they missed, certain points where they could have slowed down and then peaked gradually. But I think that the difficulty for them was conversion of chances. They play so well.
I wanted to say that, Coach, it's something I've noticed about Mediama. Despite all their brilliance, I noticed they really struggle sometimes to put chances.
There's a reason why they will need to get
a strike. I think they need to get a lethal scorer.
Or finish out if they win the league and then they get into Africa, because it's going to be one of the vital things. Salam is a workaholic.
I know,
but he's not a scorer.
I know they are in for recruitment, and I know Tango have a list of players that he has penciled down.
They really need.
They are looking at it.
Because somebody should be able to benefit from Salim's brilliance on the ball and all the hard work that the fullbacks give them. Right, but the point is that they've not had somebody consistently. So Brian pops up and scores 3 here, 2 there, 1 here.
Kevin will come and score.
Yeah, but they need somebody who's always there and is reliable. Kelvin, you finish.
So it's been their problem, and for me, I think that is where they need to quickly check it, and that resulted in their failure and inability to get it, the results. And I think that playing at home, there was this bit of pressure on them, because there are some games that arguably, especially that Summertex game and then the Bichim United game. They lost the whole one. And they dropped a number of points on the road, games that you're expecting them to win, and it was quite unfortunate. Even the game against Asante Kotoko at the Barbara Sports Stadium, we're expecting them, they could have easily won.
Lead and then
you take a 2-goal lead and then you let. So I think that they themselves, maybe it got to a point that some of the players were being complacent, and I won't skip it without mentioning Prince Owusu, my boy.
After he joined the Black Stars,
he got swollen headed. It was the reason why he's lost his place in the team. And I think one other thing also affected them. There is one other Owusu, Emmanuel Owusu, excellent midfielder who started the season with Prince Owusu for them, and they gelled so well. His injury actually affected the team because Tanko had to quickly find a telepathy between new set of midfielders who could work for them. So I think I don't really blame him so much because injuries can just derail your season. And we all know how injuries have affected so many coaches, top coaches in the world. When one player gets off or two players, it becomes difficult until they come back. You are talking about Manchester City, you talk about Cherki, Semenyo and the likes, but nobody can tell me that the introduction or the return of Rodri for City hasn't worked for them.
Yeah. So
The difference is going to be the pitch.
Exactly.
The Nanaji pitch, and then the TNA pitch is different.
It's different.
So if you have a player who is very starchy and he thinks that he can use his strength and all that, players with flair, on the good pitch will let him suffer.
And thankfully for Gold Stars, it looks like Atakumi has an injury that has been troubling him.
Yeah.
They've tried to rest him, but he plays games, and when opponents decide to hit him hard, it's like the Bukayo Saka situation. When players decide to hit him hard, 1-2, the injury seems to resurface, and then he tries to stay away from tackles, but that is not how he plays. So it's actually going to be a factor, and I'm just looking at who is going to force him. Fatao is not that rugged player who tries to do that. So maybe Jacob Amumenta and then Mubarak should use their experience to just get him on there and scare him away from.
But they can also start the Burkina striker Razak, that tall guy.
Yes, Razak Sanu could, and he's very strong because they will look at Media's central defenders. How do I get the better out of them? Because when the scraps fall, I know Amonkote, Atakumi, Nkoa can pick those scraps and then capitalize on those errors. What would do well for Mediama is their midfield. We may be talking about Salim, we may be talking about Fuzi, but they have a machine in Manuel Mante. I look at Tanko's game. The last time I was telling the assistant coach, Gura, I'm like, what Manuel Mante, what has he eaten? He's all over the place, and he doesn't get tired.
Consistency has also helped him.
Yes. So if Mediama have their midfield working for them, they should be able to get this done for me, because I think, you know, for Gold Stars, they also have the tools. If the game doesn't go well for Nkwa, Berimaba on a good day can be troublesome for Fatal. And we know Fatal going forward, he adds a lot, but defensively he has liabilities.
Berimaba Shooting Stars project.
Yes, he's a very good player, very, very good player. So it's going to be a game of equal house. Contour and the likes will be, if they have an opportunity to play, you know, they would also try to do their bit in that midfield to neutralize or clamp Mediema. But I think Mediema have an edge.
Right.
They have peaked, they're accelerating. They know this is the home game. And the way and manner in which they beat Asante Kotoko has uplifted their spirit. And hopefully, that same, the return of Kelvin Nkrumah to the team is a big boost, like Coach said. Fuzi Taylor also back in there, and the performance of Salim and the likes at the national team level should be a big one. If anyone stands a better chance of winning this game, I think that Mediama SC stand a better chance. And if they get a draw, it's good for them.
Right. Interesting games to look forward to in the Ghana Premier League. Top of the table class, we see Mediama welcome BBN Gold Stars to the TNA Park in Takwa. Other games to look forward to this weekend: 11 Wonders will play Bechem United at the Swedro Sports Stadium. Vision FC take on Swedro All Blacks at the Nia J. Karakou, the second sports complex in Tema. Mediama FC take on Gold Stars, TNA Park. Referee will be Nathan Anafo. Interesting one there. That game would be live. So that game will be live on TV. So let's look out for that.
Which one?
The game between Mediama and Gold Stars will be live on TV. So
Today's game is also live on TV.
Yeah.
That is 11 Wonders Bechem United.
yeah, so we'll be following that game. Samatex versus Basaka Holy Stars at the Century Sports Complex. Kayola United will take on Young Apostles at the Aliu Mama Sports Stadium in Tamale. And then Adriana FC will take on Hearts of Lions at the Nanajima Bedu, the First Park in Doma. Then Dreams FC would welcome Kumasi Asante Kotoko to the Tuba AstroTurf. So all of these games we'll be watching, we'll be following this weekend in the Ghana Premier League. Coach, let me say a big thank you to you for joining us on the show this morning.
See you guys on Monday morning.
Yes, hopefully.
Thank you.
Yes, enjoy your stay in Takwa. Don't do the things I won't do. Knowing Coach Ebenezer Sifa. Well, I have a package for you to deliver in Takwa for me. So, this is Sporty Breakfast live on Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takwa, and 91.3 in Kumasi. Well, let's go to Europe. We'll go to Europe. And the English Premier League is getting exciting. Arsenal are currently top of the table only because they have played a game more than Manchester City, and they'll be looking forward to maintaining their grip on the top of the table this weekend. They'll be hoping to do a job on their opponents in this weekend's round of games. And Arsenal this weekend will be facing quite a tough team. They would be coming up against a team that has troubled them quite a lot this season. Fulham, the Arsenal play Fulham. Manchester City, they will be playing against Everton. So two teams chasing the top of the table would be facing banana skins, if I may put it that way, in this weekend's round of games. Now, let me bring you the games to look forward to in England this weekend. It's match day 35 of the 2025-2026 English Premier League season. The games start today. Leeds United will take on Burnley. Brentford play West Ham on Saturday. And still on Saturday, you have Newcastle United taking on Brighton and Hove Albion. Wolverhampton Wanderers will play Sunderland. And then final game of Saturday would see Arsenal take on Fulham at the Emirates. Now, on Sunday, Bournemouth play Crystal Palace. At 2:30, you have Manchester United playing against Liverpool. Then Aston Villa would play Tottenham Hotspur, who are struggling to get out of the drop zone. Chelsea would play Nottingham Forest, and then Everton would welcome Manchester City to their home ground. Now, let's get into a bit of analysis on some of the key games. First of all, Nathan, let's deal with Arsenal, Fulham, Manchester City, Everton. Two teams fighting for the top. We all know both teams cannot afford to slip at this point. Resumption of normal service for both Arsenal and Manchester City in these ones?
Well, you would expect so, but the point is those games are not easy games. Looking at where we are in the season, what's on the table, it won't be easy at all. We've seen Fulham, we've seen how tough they can be on the road, back at home at the Craven. It will be tough, but I think if you look at where Arsenal are now and Manchester City and what is on the table, every game is valuable to them. Now, if it means winning by a single goal to pick your points, they will do it because it's a points game now.
Yeah.
Right? It's a points game now. You want to back the points first. You sort out the goal difference issue later. So I expect both teams to go into the games, very tough games. Manchester City's game at Everton will not be easy. Everton, we know what they can do. These days, when they play at home, very brave, very open. They go at teams. We saw how much of a game they gave Liverpool, only to lose it in the 100th minute, meaning that they can't give you problems. Yeah. And Man City will have to be ready to, quote-unquote, suffer, to expect Everton to be in their faces, to expect Everton to be physical, to expect Everton to give them a tough time. So City will have to be ready for a very complex game. Arsenal likewise, but you look at Arsenal, and I think when you look at them in Manchester City, I think they've mastered the art of learning to go into games, get what they want, and then they go away. I think City are now beginning to learn that lesson, how to win ugly, 1-0, and then they go away. I think Arsenal should be able to handle this one. Of course, with one eye on the return leg against Atletico, I don't know what kind of team Mikel Arteta will use over the weekend. Will he make wholesale changes? Will he make a couple of changes? Will he keep the squad? Will he present a very strong team to be able to get over the line? Those are questions to which we'll get answers over the weekend. But I still expect Arsenal and City to eke out wins. It won't be Arsenal to win 5-0 and Man City to go and win 3-0. I doubt. I think that they'll eke out the wins, especially as they are watching each other. They've played each other twice already, so they can't face each other again. Now it's a matter of, let me think about my game, but at the same time, see what the others will do. Arsenal play first. City play the next day. So City will watch Arsenal. Whatever result Arsenal gets, City will have to match or better.
Yeah.
Match or better. So that's the thing. It's a very delicate time of the season. The two teams will try and play off the pressure, but it's very delicate. Very, very delicate. So, just looking at form, squad, ability, I expect the two teams to eke out wins. 3 points, maybe by very slim margins, and then, they keep going. We go into the next one to see what will happen.
Well, Kelvin, let me bring you in. Arsenal play against Fulham, and many have said Arsenal could be distracted by that midweek game that they have against Atletico as they seek to progress to the Champions League final. That could be a bit of a distraction for this Arsenal team. And again, Arteta would be mindful of not picking up any injuries in this game. How much will all of that affect Arsenal going into this game?
Well, I don't think that it should be a problem. This is the game that you need to use as a very good warming session for the Athletic game.
Yep.
If you can perfect your ability in the final third of the pitch, this is a game that offers you the opportunity to do that. And Fulham normally provide a bit of a thick skin for teams when they decide to set up. Marco Silva is one of the coaches. When he decides to set up in a mid block, he doesn't like the low blocks, but in a mid block, it's difficult for you to run through. And thankfully for Arsenal, Fulham are missing a number of very important players. Like Alex Iwobi, he's injured and will be missing this game. And Arsenal should be able to go through. This is where I think that he should be testing how Victor Gyökeres playing through the lines would help him to get a lot more goals. Bukayo Saka has been a bit rusty, and you could see that in the Athletic game. If you are not going to start him even in the second leg, this is an opportunity for you to give him more minutes to sharpen him. Look at Gabriel Jesus. He seems to have been off. An opportunity for your French players. If you are going to rest Martinelli, Noni Madueke, maybe Odegaard, your starters. Just get those who are on the fringes to play. I think that over the weekend, Hinkapie has been tiring throughout the number of games he's played without Calafiori and Miles Lewis Kelly. An opportunity for you to put Calafiori there, give him minutes, sharpen him, knowing that Hinkapie will play on Tuesday. If you have an opportunity to play Calafiori, it wouldn't be a problem because you have given him game time after this. I'm not too certain if Jurien Timber will be available for this particular game. He may decide to play him in an under-23s or an under-21s closed-door game. But I think that this is more like a training ground, final training, rehearsal or training ground dress up for that game against Atleti. And you should just go into the game thinking that I need a victory to set up the right tone for the game on Tuesday. So he shouldn't go. Maybe he can make changes in central defense. Maybe rest Saliba or Gabriel, put Mosquera there, or put Mosquera at right back, and then rest Ben White, who seem to have been having 2 games. That is if he's not getting Jurien Timber back in there. Then he can play Norgard in that midfield to at least rest Declan Rice. I think that, yes, you may be wanting the points to keep pressure on Manchester City, who will be playing later on Monday, which means Arsenal can go 6 points clear.
Yep.
Arsenal could go 6 points clear before City play their game. Because now it's 3 points. City have a game in hand. If Arsenal plays, it will be 6 points. That means City will be going into the Palace game on Monday thinking, we need to win.
Yeah,
we need
they
to
play
win.
Everton on Monday.
Everton. And that will be pressure. And Everton themselves are also trying to get into Europe.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity for Arteta and his team. Get the win. If you can finish the game or close it out by the opening 45, you can have the luxury of resting or making substitution that can rest your key players in there. I think that this shouldn't be a game that should worry us now. They should be able to get over the line with this because the kind of play they showed against Atleti, I'm not sure many expected that after that shambolic performance from the start of April. Just build on it, give the team more confidence. The likes of Miles Lewis Kelly and likes, I think they are all capable. Nobody can tell me Norgard from his time at Brentford and should be able to play against Fulham. Fulham. I don't think it should be a problem. So let's wait and see. Arteta has his own issues. Those are the issues that the unpredictability of Arteta and then his decision making is what makes him a bit funny at times. But he should be able to get the win over Fulham and then Arsenal set themselves right for next week.
Right. Let's talk about another very important game, and it's a game that will feature 2 of England's most successful clubs. This time around, they will not be challenging for the English Premier League title, but there's Champions League to talk about. United need 2 points to finish in the Champions League. And for Liverpool, they have put themselves in good position to qualify for next season's Champions League. United would welcome Liverpool to Old Trafford this weekend. Nathan, United will be hoping to do a double over Liverpool this season.
Yeah, they haven't done a double over Liverpool since, let me remember, 2013.
It's been quite a while.
Fergie's last season. Fergie's last season. Yeah. United beat Liverpool home and away. Now, a win for United seals Champions League football, right? But I can tell you that when you work the mathematics, United may not need this game or may not need to win this game to get Champions League. Why? But it's a caveat. It will depend on Brighton and Bournemouth. Right. If both Brighton and Bournemouth do not win, right, then let's Man United. So this is what it means. United are about to play their 35th game of the season.
Yeah.
Which would mean that there will be 3 games left, right?
Right.
3 games left. United are currently on 61. Brighton are on 50. Brighton's maximum, if they win every single game of the season, is 62.
That's correct.
Right? We are following. Brilliant. Now, assuming Brighton are playing Newcastle this weekend. So, assuming Brighton get a draw, right? Assuming Brighton draws the game and United do not win, what does it mean? It means that Brighton will go to 51. Are we following?
Yeah.
United stay on 61, assuming United lose the game to Liverpool. That is what? A 10-point gap with how many games left? 3. So that's Brighton out of contention and Man United doing 1 over Brighton in terms of the Champions League play. So that keeps United in there. Now, if you look at Bournemouth are on 49. Are you following?
Yeah.
The maximum they can get if they win every single game is 61 points. But they have a goal difference of 0. United's goal difference is plus 14. So if Bournemouth do not win and they also get 1 point, it moves them to 50. And let's say United lose, that is an 11 points gap over Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And that seals Man United's place. That's the variable I wanted to put across. So that aside, I overheard Bruno Fernandez's team chant or team talk before they took on Brentford on Monday in the huddle. He said, we win every single game between now and the end of the season. That is the way we play. That is what we have to do. I'm paraphrasing. He was telling his Man United colleagues.
Yeah.
So just looking at that, I think for pride's sake, for ego's sake, Man United will do everything possible to beat Liverpool. The last reason why United will do it is the Champions League. Maybe it's the first, but the point is it is Liverpool. So either way, they are motivated to go and get something from the result. Now, Liverpool go into that game with a few concerns. Concern number one is Alisson Becker, their goalkeeper. According to reports, he faces a late fitness test, meaning that he's not 100%. In the last few games, Kelvin has been Woodman, right? That's the name of the guy. Woodman has manned the post. And he's very young goalkeeper, very brave. I think that if Alisson...
there's one thing. He's a bit inexperienced with Premier League games.
Yes.
But he's 28.
Yeah.
He sat on the bench for Liverpool.
years.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, not even on the bench, as a reserve goalkeeper. Not even a substitute goalkeeper, as a reserve
28.
goalkeeper.
And he's now getting his first
Exactly.
taste.
So his experience level is a bit dicey when it comes to
But
the
I
Premier
like
League.
his confidence.
Yeah.
He's confident, quite brave.
I see Manchester United's goalkeeper. I see his kind in him. When Lamens came, a lot of people did not really have confidence until he started showing it with his saves. And I think that he has that.
Yeah, so Liverpool have a decision to make on Alisson Becker. Would they want to risk him? Simply because it is a game at Old Trafford. I don't know what they want to do. Mo Salah is definitely out, so he will not get his customary Old Trafford goal. Because, look, Ray, if Mo Salah had played this game, look, any betting person bet on Mo Salah to score, and he will score.
Yeah.
He will find a way of scoring to close the story out. So that's not happening. United are happy. But the point is that what kind of Liverpool will show up? We've seen Liverpool without Mo Salah, and they've looked fluid and more assured and more comfortable. That looks like the Liverpool that will show up. A Liverpool that Arne Slot pictures in his mind without Mo Salah. So I think we'll have to see what they can show. We've seen some of their best performers this season. They've not been a lot, except Dom Szoboszlai. And United will have to think of how to deal with a problem like Dominic Szoboszlai. Great from range, good energy, fantastic passing. And we've seen what energetic midfield can do to Man United. We saw what Leeds did. Even Brentford, they could easily cut through United. Had it not been Igor Thiago's inconsistency, they could have won that game. And Liverpool, I think, have got better players in attack who can cause Man United problems. So it will be a very tough game. United will have to figure out how they can get a result. But under Carrick, they've done very well at Old Trafford. And he can inspire them. They all know the value of this game. They've won some of the biggest games they've played against their rivals or the fellow big teams. They went away to win at Chelsea. They beat Arsenal in London. They beat Manchester City at Old Trafford. So they seem to know what it means to play these kinds of games. So it will be fun. It will be good. Should I say United start as favourites? I can't tell because Liverpool, as I've said, without Mo Salah, look comfortable. But United have shown that in games like this and on days like this, they could go out and play a performance. So United can get the win. Had it been under Ruben Amorim, I'd be saying Charlie. So, but United can get the only thing is this: United will have to be very smart in the way they defend. Against Brentford, they were cut open too many times. Liverpool will not pardon you. Look, we can say what we want about Liverpool, but they have quality to hurt you.
Very, very good strikers.
They can hurt you when you give them the opportunity. Isaac gets to start. Now that Ekitike is out indefinitely. Mo Salah's absence will mean that they'll change the shape. Vert and Co will be more prominent, and they will cause United problems. So United should be very ready for a tough game on Sunday at Old Trafford. As I've mentioned, I don't know whether they've worked the math and they know the variables concerning Brighton and Bournemouth, but United will have to try and close out Champions League football very quickly. Because I say this, if United drop the bag and they have to go to Brighton on the final day to go and get a Champions League ticket, it won't happen. So United will have to get it sealed very quickly. After this is Sunderland. I think after this is Forest, Sunderland, but they play Sunderland and Forest in whatever order in their next 2 games. They need to try and close it out this weekend or the next. Be happy with Champions League football and they move. And then the subscript is Bruno's hunt for the assist title.
We'll see.
Can Bruno kill it against Liverpool? 2 assists, he becomes the new assist king, or he gets possibly 1 and then the others will follow. Whatever it is, that's the side plot or that's the subplot to this game. Fascinating one over the weekend. It should be fun to watch on Sunday.
Interesting games to look forward to in England. Now, let me take you to Spain quickly. Let's check out the fixtures for match day 34 in the Spanish La Liga. Tonight, Girona take on Real Mallorca. Villarreal take on Levante tomorrow. Valencia will take on Atletico Madrid, and we know Diego Simeone will rest his entire team ahead of that Arsenal team. Alaves play Athletic Bilbao. Osasuna take on Barcelona. You have Celta Vigo taking on Elche. Getafe play Rayo Vallecano. Real Betis will play Oviedo. And then you have Espanyol taking on Real Madrid. All of these games will be played this weekend. Now, Barcelona, they have a comfortable 9-point lead at the top of the Spanish La Liga table.
Yep. And if Real Madrid drop points,
this weekend,
Barcelona
will run away with the title.
Yeah.
So
then Real Madrid will have to give Barca the guard.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the Camp Nou.
Exactly. So that's how things are looking in the Spanish La Liga. Let's go to the Italian Serie A. Let's check out the games to look forward to this weekend. There's Champions League places up for grabs, so teams would be battling for Champions League spots. In terms of the league standing itself, we all know that Inter Milan look very, very comfortable despite not picking up maximum points last weekend. They look very comfortable going into this weekend. Now, the games start today. Pisa would take on Lecce. Udinese play Torino tomorrow. Como play Napoli. As they seek to secure a Champions League spot for next season. Atalanta, they will come up against Genoa. Yes, Bologna play Cagliari. Sassuolo take on AC Milan. You have Juventus taking on Verona. Inter will play Parma. And then on Monday, you have Cremonese taking on Lazio. And then AS Roma playing against Fiorentina. So, Italian Serie A games to look forward to. Inter, they have opened a 10-point lead at the summit of the table. Over their closest challengers, Napoli. So, Nathan, there's 10 points between Inter Milan and Napoli, and they too look like they'll be running away with the Scudetto this season. Now, let's go to the German Bundesliga, where Bayern Munich, they have sealed the title. They have the title in the bag already. They would be looking to, they'll be looking forward to resting a few players going into the game against Paris Saint-Germain on Wednesday. Now, the games to look forward to in Germany, it's match day 32 of the 34 match round season. Bayern Munich will take on Heidenheim tonight. Eintracht Frankfurt play Hamburg SV. On Saturday, you have Hoffenheim taking on Stuttgart. Union Berlin play Cologne. Werder Bremen play Augsburg. You have Bayer Leverkusen take on RB Leipzig. St. Pauli taking on Mainz. And then you have Mönchengladbach playing Borussia Dortmund. And then Freiburg, they would come up against Wolfsburg. Now, these are the games to look forward to in Germany. Now, looking at the table, Bayern Munich, they are comfortably... they are comfortably sitting top of the table. They have 82 points. They open a 15-point lead over their closest challengers, Borussia Dortmund, last weekend to secure yet another Bundesliga title. So they are champions of Germany, confirmed champions of Germany as we speak. Then you have Borussia Dortmund in second. They have 67 points. RB Leipzig are third on 62 points. And then you have Stuttgart fourth on 57 points. So the top four teams in there. And then you have St. Pauli, Wolfsburg, Heidenheim all in the drop zone. So tonight is first versus bottom place, the first team versus bottom place team in the German Bundesliga. That's Bayern Munich versus Heidenheim happening this weekend. Nathan, take us to France. Let's check out what's happening in the Ligue 1 this weekend.
Okay. If you go to the Liga, interesting fixtures there. Tonight, so tomorrow night is Nantes versus Marseille. Nantes in the bottom parts of the league take on Marseille. Marseille are hoping that they can get a few more wins to close the season out. It's not been a good season for Nantes at all. PSG take on Lorient on they take on Lorient tomorrow on Saturday. That's a 3 p.m. game. PSG fresh off playing that humdinger against Bayern Munich, hoping that they can be consistent, and when changes will be made, I suspect the biggest absentee is Ashraf Hakimi. He's out extended because of a hamstring injury, so they won't have to make the change. I don't know who they'll put at right back. Will they put Joao Neves there? I'm not sure, but we'll see what kind of change they make at right back. Definitely they'll have somebody there. Zabani could come in to centre back. It means they'll have to move somebody out wide. I don't know. We'll see who Luis Enrique will bring. But changes will be made. I expect players like Lee Kang-in, Gonzalo Ramos unfortunately got sent off last weekend, so he's not going to play, meaning that they will have to rely on Ousmane Dembele to lead the line and then maybe sub him out for Bradley Barcola. But they will have to keep some of the starters from midweek in that particular encounter. Some changes made here and there, but I still expect PSG to get them in. Lorient, since January, have been in good form, but they've kind of hiccuped in the last few weeks. Let's see what happens. Nice and Lens is another interesting one. Lens were hoping to give Paris Saint-Germain a challenge, but they've been very inconsistent since the turn of the year. Sometimes they are 2 points close, 1 point. This time they are 6 points behind. They had the opportunity to cut the gap, and then they dropped the ball last week, and they drew 3-3 at Stade Brest, Ray's favorite team. But yeah, they drew in that one. They should hopefully get the result at Nice, but we've seen Lens, they can be inconsistent. There's Lille and Le Havre, Auxerre versus Angers. I think Auxerre, after this weekend, if they don't get a good result, they'll have to understand where they are. It looks like it will be the playoff for them. In France, we all know the mechanics. 2 teams get relegated. 1 team plays the playoff to see if they can stay in the league. It looks like Auxerre will have to be involved in that playoff. There's Paris FC taking on Stade Brest. Stade Brest are hoping to pick up from where they left off last weekend. Last weekend, they took a 3-goal lead against Lens, only to blow it and draw 3-3. But Paris FC sometimes can play out very good games. We saw the weekend they shocked Monaco. So Stade Brest should be in for a tough one. Strasbourg take on Toulouse. Strasbourg just lost to Rayo Vallecano in the Conference League. Let's see how they respond. This is a warm-up game, right? A warm-up game to the second leg. In the second leg of the Conference League, we saw what they did to Mainz. They beat Mainz 4-0 in the last round. Can they turn it around? This weekend is a test for them. And then the biggest game of the round is between Lyon and Rennes. Lyon are hoping to get some European football. This week, they welcomed back some players from injury, including our very own Enes Nyama. It looks like Nyama may be on the bench for this particular one. I don't know if it has come too soon for him, but he returned to training, which is good. If he gets to play, I'll be very interested in how many minutes he gets and how he looks.
I think they've been very much cautious with Nyama's return because it's been over a year. Some of the players are rushed less than a year, 9 months, 8 months to get back. But I think for Nyama,
because it's an ACL.
So it's been over a year. They've taken their time for him to recover well, and I think that is good because it was about 4 weeks ago he even started training with the under 21s and playing some indoor games, but they just took their time for him to get into the groove, and I'm glad. Hopefully he starts getting some minutes, and like I said, he's one of the players that I know if we are able to show up at the World Cup will be very much important. If he's able to go to the World Cup, I see what Kudus did in 2022 in him to do it in 2026 for us.
Okay. Well, Lyon-Rennes is the final game of the round. Rennes themselves hoping that they can push up into the European places. They have the current top scorer of the league, Esteban Le Paul, and let's see what kind of problems he can cause. Lyon can be quite inconsistent at home. Rennes are currently fifth; they are just a point behind Lyon. So a win for Rennes puts them on to 59, and that is very good.
Right.
Takes out Lyon from third spot. Could put them in the mix for Champions League football. This would be a fascinating game.
When I was looking up the games and I saw Paris Saint-Germain, Lorient, I tried to do a few things around, who would be playing, who would not be playing and all. And then I found an interesting name, Nathaniel Ejay.
Yes.
Nathaniel Ejay is one footballer who has gone through the youth ranks all through to national team level. So he was vice captain at under 17 at a point. He played with the under 20 team and then played with the under 23 team as well. Okay, so he's one of those players who steadily progressed from the youth ranks. A very solid defender by all standards, and he made his debut for the Black Stars when they played against Niger at the Accra Sports Stadium. The game we lost.
Yes.
Now he started that game but got injured, but couldn't continue. But he's a very, very, very solid defender. 6'3", reading of the game, passing ability, his strength, his understanding of the game, solid. And it's one defender, I think that if the handlers of the national team, Carlos Queiroz and his men, if they are paying attention, this is a game they should watch. They should watch Lorient versus Paris Saint-Germain, because Nathaniel Ejay is one defender who should be on the plane to the World Cup. He definitely should be on the plane to the World Cup, because he's a solid defender, top defender. And I think, because he plays for Lorient, we haven't seen too much of him. But he played in Sweden before moving to France. But he's a solid defender. If we are talking about the likes of Pepra, we are talking about Salisu, all of them had their teeth cut in France, okay? So, he's one player who I think we shouldn't forget because of how he's been, how he's progressed through the ranks. And Nathan, if you're not a good player, it's hard for you to go through 17, 20, 23, even to the national team. So he's been called up before, but because he could not get the chance to really prove his worth, we never really saw him, dominate in defense for the Black Stars. But there's an opportunity for him to make a claim for a spot in Carlos Queiroz's team. And I think that if anybody's paying attention, if the handlers are paying attention, Desmond Ofer and the likes, if they are paying attention, he's going to be one good addition to the Black Stars squad defensively if they scout him for the tournament. So that's one. Nathaniel Ejay, the name is Nathaniel Ejay. Nathaniel Ejay. Very, very, very solid defender. And I'm sure the handlers will be paying attention to him. Hopefully, he gets a nod to go to the World Cup. It's one player Carlos Queiroz should be paying attention to. Against PSG, Nathan, you come up against some of the best players in the world. And this is where you want to see how
he reacts, how he
react to opposition
in such
like
an
that.
environment.
So we'll see how things go for him. So
I'll keep an eye out. I mean, that game is on Saturday.
Yes, on Saturday.
I will keep an eye out on that to see how he fares, and I'll come back with a report for you.
Sure. Well, this is all time would allow us on today's edition of Sporty Breakfast. But before we go, Nathan, I have a very, very important birthday dedication. One very important birthday request. If I don't put that in, it means that we'll have money issues. Nathan, say money issues.
Money issues.
Let's go to the sports ministry. And belated happy birthday to an exceptional director of accounts, Mrs. Perpetual Jaba Tiria. Mrs. Perpetual Jaba Tiria of the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. And this message is coming from the PR and Communications Office of the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. Now, their message to Director of Accounts is, may this year bring you continued professional achievements, personal fulfillment, and for keeping our finances in perfect balance. We wish you well, and we pray that this new year brings you all the big things you wish for yourself. Now, this message is coming once again from the PR and Communications Office of the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. And they want to wish a very special person, their Director of Accounts, Mrs. Perpetual Jabatiria, a happy, happy birthday. Mrs. Teria, happy birthday to you, and God bless you. Well, this is where we draw the curtain down on today's edition of the show. It's been a Workers' Day edition. Happy Workers' Day to you all out there. Well, programming on SportyFM continues. There's news at 12, and then there's European... There's news at 12. There's Sporty Plug at 12:30.